Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to We've Got Nothing Better to Do, the show where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, and comic books because we've got nothing better to do. I'm your host, Nathaniel, and this week I am joined by just Parker, but we are back. We had a little bit of a break for New Year's. Excuse me, I'm still sick. I've been sick for like a month, so I might cough every 5 seconds. But sorry about that. But yeah, it's just me and Parker this week. I guess everyone is busy. Brady is playing Call of Duty, but we roll with it. You just roll with the punches. It's a little bit of a throwback to the old days.
Jeez.
Where it's just Parker and I making content on YouTube.
Pretending to, at least.
Yeah. All right. I'm probably gonna, because I'm talking a lot, I'm probably gonna cough like every 5 seconds. So I'm gonna try and find like a cough drop or something. So give me like a minute. And I'll be right back. I know it's super professional, but we roll with the punches. We take those.
I don't know if he wants me to say stuff here while he's gone, or if he's just gonna cut this out. But, yes.
Well, I didn't find anything, so we just roll with it. We take those. So let's just
Rip.
go right into the news. And the first bit of news is the New Mutants trailer. And this isn't really, like, brand new. Obviously, we haven't done the show in 2 weeks. But, we're fitting in a bunch of news. So the first bit on the docket is the New Mutants trailer, which Parker and I just watched. And what are your thoughts, Parker, on New Mutants?
It looks actually surprisingly good, just because it looks like a horror movie,
I mean,
but like a good horror movie. Because, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of horror movies, but it looks good.
yeah, I'm not either. I wouldn't say it looks good. It looks kind of like cheap horror, like kind of cliche horror, and I'm not a huge horror fan, so a lot of it looks the same to me in general. But it's just like horror, but
Yeah.
with kids who have superpowers. But I don't get like the horror, like I don't know what the horror is, like what it's coming from. Like I don't know, maybe it's like the doctor's power is like fear, like she kind of has a scarecrow kind of thing going on. It's some sort of fear related thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the
Yeah.
last Fox X-Men movie. I think there's only, I don't know all the characters in it. I think there's only 2 of them that are like big X-Men characters, and that's I think his name is Sam Summers, who's the kid from Stranger Things. He is, I think, Scott Summers or Cyclops' younger brother, because he has 2 brothers. His older brother is just Havoc. There's him, and then his younger brother, I think, and he has like another form of like concussive blast powers. And you can kind of see his like arms starting to vibrate in one of the scenes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Ileana, who is, her name's Magic, and she's Colossus's younger sister. But she has like magic mutant powers. Like she gets a sword, and like her powers are tied to another dimension. And she is the sorcerer supreme of another dimension, like that her powers stem from, or something like that. I don't remember her being like a cold-blooded killer in the comics, but the way they introduced her in this, she's like, I killed 18 men.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. But
Very nice.
I would say it looks serviceable. The only thing that like kind of disappointed me is the end of the trailer. End of the trailer is a fight against a big hulking gray CGI monster vortex thing. That's like
Yeah. It's something that I might get around to watching
it comes out in April.
if, like, I'm really bored on the weekend and I need something to watch.
I don't know if anything else is coming out in April, but this film is not yet rated. It comes out in 3 months. How is it not yet rated? I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, it looks fine, I guess, is how I would put it. The next bit of news is a rumor. Again, this is from a few weeks ago, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of follow-up from it. So I don't know if it's been deconfirmed or dropped or evolved in any way. But there was a rumor that Christian Bale was in talks to be in Thor 4, called Thor Love and Thunder. And everyone was kind of speculating who he might be. And the one that I liked the most, and obviously the most popular speculation, was that he would be playing Beta Ray Bill. Which I think,
be awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good. I mean, I don't mean any disrespect. Christian Bale is obviously a good-looking dude, but he kind of looks like Beta Ray Bill already. So they don't have to do much to his face to make him that, the horse-faced alien. But, because we're getting, obviously, Thor 4 is about him being Thor, and then Jane Foster gets the powers of Thor. So whether she gets Mjolnir or another hammer or something, it would make sense that she's not the only person who gets a hammer. Like, there could be female Thor, and then Beta Ray Bill also gets his own hammer, which is, his hammer is called Stormbreaker. So they took the name of his hammer already for Thor's axe in the MCU now. So they'd have to call his hammer something else if he is. But yeah, I would be down for Christian Bale as Beta Ray Bill. I think he'd be a good Beta Ray Bill, and I'd like to see that.
I think it would work well.
I think it would too. Sorry. And more superhero news. Colin Farrell was cast as the Penguin in Batman, starring Robert Pattinson. And there's a couple set photos revealed. And it looks like he's not fat. Like, he's just put on a little bit more weight. Like, he still has a fairly slim body. He just kind of has a little bit of a gut and a little bit more weight to him. So I'm assuming he's not going for the, like, Danny DeVito style big fat penguin short man, because Colin Farrell's fairly tall. So he's going to be more of like a refined, like, he looks normal, doesn't have 3 fingers and a beak.
Refined penguin.
Yes. Kind of like, I think Gotham Penguin is really skinny or something. I don't know if he gets fat eventually, but yeah, a different take on the Penguin. And I like Colin Farrell. He's a good actor. And I think Robert Pattinson could do really well as, like, young Batman / Bruce Wayne. So I'm actually pretty interested in this Batman movie. The Man of Steel DCEU verse Batman, basically Batfleck, I wasn't super, like, jazzed on. And I only saw Suicide Squad, which has been in it for like 5, not even 5 minutes, like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah. This sounds interesting. And it's supposed to be like a film, or like a dark noir style film, with Batman doing more detective-y stuff, because, he's the world's greatest detective. So that'd be cool. But yeah.
Scooby is the world's greatest detective. Thank you very much.
Scooby isn't the detective. We all know that Velma does all the work. Scooby and Shaggy are just there to be high. Be high and eat sandwiches. You know?
Sounds like a good thing.
From a certain point of view. If one
I can't understand you in between all the coughing.
If one wants to be a wise and powerful leader, they must take in
You
a
tried.
wider view of the Force, not just the dogmatic, narrow view of the Jedi. I tried. Okay, next, the Morbius trailer.
I saw this when it came out. It looks good.
That's loud. Sorry, that just blew up your ears.
I didn't hear it.
No, it doesn't look good.
What?
It does not look good. It looks like Venom, and Venom wasn't good.
Yeah, but that's because everyone knows who Venom is. No one knows who Morbius is.
I know who Morbius is.
Well, you do, but no one else does.
And Morbius, he's like not a real vampire. He's like a science vampire. Like, he has, because he's not really an actual like magic-based vampire. It's because of his blood disease and like he does transfusion with like a bat or something. And so essentially he gets some of the powers of a vampire, but none of the weaknesses because he's not a magic but vampire. So he can like fly, he has claws, he has teeth, and he looks like a bat. But that's it. But this looks
what's wrong with it?
Well, no, I'm saying that's what normal Morbius is. This looks more like he's doing magics and like his origin's gonna be a little more like actual vampire based because he's called Morbius the living vampire because technically he's not dead. But this looks like I don't know, it's like ambiguous, like whether or not he's an actual vampire or if he's a living vampire.
Well, I don't know anything about him, so it looks interesting to me.
He looks freaking ugly when he transforms. Like,
yeah,
Morbius always looks ugly, but he looks like freaking gross. There's like a weird looking like Nightcrawler kind of scene with like the same like poofy woofy like teleport effects. That looked kind of weird. I don't know. And then like the villain is supposedly just his friend who has the same disease. So it's probably going to end up being him versus another vampire that's just like him.
Brings me back to the Incredible Hulk almost. It's going to be really good then.
Or Venom.
Yeah, I never did watch Venom.
Or most superhero movies. The origins. And Morbius is like an anti-hero. So I think they're going that angle. But
I've heard some people talk about Morbius is adding to the Sinister Six.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that because the scene just showed up in the trailer. At the end, Michael Keaton's Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture, shows up at the end. So basically, the Sony Marvel deal, the new one, if you didn't know, essentially states that Sony can make movies with their Spider-Man characters that appeared in MCU films. They just can't use MCU characters. So they can use any of the characters they created in the Spider-Man movies. So Vulture would be one of them. Like Ned Leeds, his friend, Zendaya. They could do Mysterio. Basically anyone that's not an Avenger or like a main character from another movie. They can put those in their own movies, such as Morbius. So Michael Keaton, who plays the Vulture in Homecoming, shows up at the end of the trailer. So essentially they're in the same universe sort of, but off to the side, which is what Sony wanted to do with like Venom. So essentially, they can do that now, and so Sony has been wanting to do a Sinister Six movie for like decades. So people think that they're building towards that, but Venom and Morbius are kind of anti-heroes, so it'd be kind of weird for them to join the Sinister Six now. Because, like, if you establish Venom as a villain first, it wouldn't be that weird. But they didn't, so it would be weird. But also, there's a poster of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man in the Morbius trailer, and it's like, well, obviously it's not in that Spider-Man universe, because Tom Holland universe, MCU universe, their Vulture is in it. But also, if you look up that image of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, it's the one from the PS4 game that they just put in. So it's kind of odd as to why they'd pick that one. Because you're either implying that the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies exist in that universe, or the PS4 game exists in that universe. But that game also has, like, almost the entire Spider-Man Rogues Gallery. So it somehow predicted Spider-Man's future. But that's a whole nother can of worms. But yeah, after watching it a second time, it looks a little better than like when I first watched it, but still I'm not like, I don't have high hopes for it. But I'm interested to see if they like try to connect everything. What about you, though? What are your thoughts?
I hope they try and connect everything. I thought the trailer looked good just because I'd never even heard of the character before. I think that's what I'm excited for, is a new character that's interesting. But also, when does Eternals come out?
I think in like November. I think it's late in the year.
Oh. Well, it has nothing to do with it, but I want that. And I think I just want a new movie that looks good that's
Yeah, November 6th.
superhero related like this, and that's why I thought it looked good.
Yeah. Woo. All right, next news. We got a Black Widow special look that aired during the college football national championship, I think.
Yeah.
So we got some more footage, get some more dialogue between Natasha and Yelena, which is her quote-unquote sister, basically another Black Widow. And you get some more like action sequences, and you see a little more of David Harbour, Red Guardian, and the other Black Widow. I don't remember her name. The actress is Rachel Weisz, but I don't remember her name. But so I probably get it's a team up movie. Like we already knew this, but then I think the cool part of this trailer is that you get to see like a good amount of Taskmaster. And it's just enough to like tickle you, you know, kind of get you like ready for it, but enough to be like, or like not enough to where you feel like you're satisfied. But obviously, so we see he's got the shield technique down because he's carrying his Taskmaster shield, and it looks like a vibranium cap shield, just with his logo on it. Like you can see like the vibranium ridges, like it looks like an exact replica. Which it might be because she shoots it a couple times at like point blank range and nothing happens. But then he also has a sword, I think, in that fight, which Taskmaster usually carries a sword and shield on him. We see him go up against Red Guardian right before, and then he goes up against Natasha. Yeah, he does have a sword. He does the cap throw. Let's see what else he does. Yeah, he does like a sick flip. So he like flips like 4 feet over her head, So either he's enhanced or he's got like some sort of suit. But normally Taskmaster is like a normal in terms of speed and strength. He's at a normal, like, unpowered kind of, like he'd be similar to like Hawkeye or like Daredevil. Like he's at the physical peak of humanity, but he doesn't have any superpowers. His power is he has photographic reflex, which essentially means he could see someone do something and then instantly replicate it. So he has like a ton of different fighting styles that he's learned, and you see it in the trailer. They're both like landing from a jump, and when they do their stance as they land, he's copying her exact stance like as she's doing it. So you can see that's how he like learns to fight. So I think this is a good villain for Black Widow, because obviously he's not like super overpowered, but he would be interesting challenge, because obviously it'd be like her fighting Cap, and I assume, or in the trailer, the other trailer, he has a bow, so he's probably got Hawkeye's style down. Then he has a sword, but I don't think we have any sword characters yet. But
no,
yeah,
not that I can think of.
This trailer got me even more excited. I was pretty excited for this movie, but this trailer looks really good, and so I'm pretty excited now. And I gotta say, I don't know who's picking these the candidates for the Black Widow program, but I gotta say they got some pretty good taste. You know, I'm saying.
You just had to say something.
You feel me? You feel me? I mean, it's 2020. We don't objectify whammons here, but I'm just saying, like, he's got a good eye. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, you know. Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, you know what I'm saying?
What is wrong with you?
You know you love me. All right, next news. TV news. Mandalorian, Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal, whatever you want to call him, father of Baby Yoda. He is getting a season 2 much earlier than I was expecting. Because season 1...
I'm not surprised at all. The first episode was such a hit.
Well, I mean, like, I assumed they filmed part of season 2 before season 1 came out or was done. Because that's a super quick turnaround. And it is a TV show, but it is a very high production value TV show. But like the season 1 wrapped what 3 weeks ago? Like,
yeah, something like that.
And the week after they announced, hey, season 2 is coming this fall, like September or November. Like that's a pretty quick turnaround. So I assume 2 got the, like, if it wasn't already filming before 1 dropped, it got the green light right when 1 dropped.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot sooner than I thought it was gonna. I thought for sure we would get a season 2, just based off the reaction, but I thought 2021 was more likely. But this is pretty quick, and I hope it's better than season 1, because I liked season 1, but I feel like it could have been better.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, but season 2 is coming very soon, so you don't have to wait long. If you don't have Disney Plus, there's not really much on there unless you like a lot of Disney stuff. But you could just wait until season 2 drops and then get it then. And
you have the World According to Jeff Goldblum. Thought it was good.
That's good. I haven't watched that in a hot minute, but there's good content on there. I haven't really watched much of it since Mando ended, but yeah, I'm hoping they put some new good stuff on there. I know that Monsters Inc. show is coming soon. I want to watch that, but I don't know if there's much else. Oh, other than like the Marvel shows. But I think WandaVision is actually supposed to come early this year, like summer or something like that.
Hopefully.
It got pushed forward.
I'm going through the whatever it's called. Oh my gosh.
The
Clone Wars again.
Oh yeah. I need to do that before season 7 starts. Because
Yeah.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Yeah. I realized season 1 was not as good as I remember. It was horrible. But now that I'm past that,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
So every time I've tried to rewatch it maybe 3 or 4 times, and I'm pretty sure I've told the story before on the show. But every time I do, I get to the same exact episode. I think it's like 10 episodes in. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop here, and then I'll start like whenever I get more time, or like I'll stop here for the night, and then assume I'm gonna keep watching. But every time I stop on an episode, so I think when I'm gonna do it now, I will intentionally just watch past one more episode, and hopefully that'll be enough to keep me going. But I mean, because there's 7 coming out, I kind of have a more of a reason to keep going and to actually finish. So
I think about 12 episodes into season 1 is when season 1 starts to pick up, and it's not just like randomness.
Well, are you watching it in order?
Yes.
Like chronological order or canon order?
Just the order it came out.
That's not canon. First season is you like the canonical first season jumps between like 4 different seasons. That's why it doesn't make sense.
Wonderful.
There's a viewing order. It's on the Star Wars website, but it's like episode 1 through episode 3 of season 1. Then you go like episode 1 of season 2, episode 1 of season 3, episode 1 of season 4. Then it's like episode 10 of season 1, and it jumps for the first season, and then it just goes in order after that. So,
well, I'm just watching it in that order in which they came out.
Yeah, it corrects
I didn't know
itself.
There was a difference.
Yeah, it corrects itself eventually. It's like the first 12 or 13 episodes you're supposed to watch in a specific order, and then you can watch it normally. But yeah, so I'll try to do that. That's it for TV. So video game news, video game news. If I could speak, biggest news of the year probably. Everyone was talking about it. It flipped the I can't think of the word. The community on its head. Gamers around the world were freaking out. The PS5 logo was revealed, and literally
that's not what I thought you were talking. I haven't even seen this yet.
Literally, all they did was open Photoshop, hit backspace, and then hit a 5. That's it. It's the PS4 logo, but with a 5. And it shouldn't have been a big deal, but Sony was like, hey, by the way, here's the PS5 logo, and everyone went. And everyone flipped out, even though it's just the exact same. I mean, it looks cool. It's very clean. But it's literally just, it's the same logo that PlayStation has been since PS2.
PS2, yeah.
Yeah, they just changed it to a 5. But I thought it was funny that people did that. But I mean, it looks cool. So, also this week, well, that was I think 2 weeks ago that was revealed. But this week or this last week, was Video Game Delay Armageddon. 3 massive titles got delayed. Oh my gosh, give me a second. I'm gonna push this cough out. Okay, so first game to be delayed. I don't know if it was the first, but it's the first one I wrote down. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not a huge delay. Supposed to come out March 3rd. Got pushed back to April 10th, so just a month. but a month is enough to go in. I assume I'm not a game developer, but go in, fix some bugs here and there, put it on finishing touches, kind of just do the overall polish. Just a little more time to get that polish just right. And honestly, they could have delayed it like as long as the other games, and I would have been a little disappointed. But for how good this game freaking looks and is gonna be, like, if they need an extra month to polish it slightly more than it was gonna be, then go for it. Like, if it's gonna run at a solid 30, or like that was part of what they're doing, like it was either gonna run at a variable frame rate or a solid 30, and I needed a month to do that, like, I don't care. Take a month to do that. Or if it was just, we're just gonna polish the models up or whatever. Like, that's not that big of a deal. Gives me a little more time to save up money to buy a PS4. So I can actually play it. But yeah, a month's not a huge deal for this game. And I know you're super excited for this game, Parker, but it's a month isn't that long to wait,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely be playing this game on the PS4 I own.
You should play it, like, eventually. You don't have to play on the PS4, but you should play it.
Probably not.
You would like it. I know you would like it.
I tried going through and playing the Final Fantasy game from my childhood. Which one was it? Was it
8.
6?
8.
Or is it 8? 8,
well,
yeah.
This is nothing like that. This is an action game now.
Yeah.
You should give it a shot. But
I still have so many games that I need to play.
I know, same.
I finally finished one of them.
Hold on to that. But the next game that got delayed was another Square Enix game, Marvel's Avengers. That was supposed to come out in May, but it got delayed until September. And so, like, with FF7 getting delayed, March lost one of its super big titles, so it's a little less of like just a hodgepodge of these huge games, because it was like FF7, Animal Crossing, Doom. There's one other really big title that was coming out in March, but it was like insane. So that's a little mellower now, or more mellow. And then Avengers got pushed into September, so now September is looking pretty stacked because it has Avengers, but it also is getting, I just wrote the date. Cyberpunk got delayed also, and that was supposed to come out in April.
It's a big one to get delayed.
Yeah, and it got a pretty hefty delay. And it got moved from April to September, along with Avengers. So now there's 2 really big games coming out in September. Excuse me. And I think there's a lot of other... there's a couple more big games coming out in September. Let me look. Well, okay, let's look at March real quick. Okay, so Pokemon Mystery Dungeon comes out in March. Ori 2. Neo 2. Animal Crossing. Doom Eternal. And Persona 5R came out in March. And that used to include FF7, but that got delayed. But now April is Resident Evil 3 and FF7. So that's a pretty good month. And then September is now... it's really just Marvel and Cyberpunk. There's not much else. There's like one other game called Iron Harvest. I've never heard of it. So yeah, September is just 2 big games now. So it looks like March, April is no longer just stacked full of releases. They're kind of pushed all over the place. So I mean, that's good for like gamers, I guess, because we don't have a bajillion games at once.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has a huge backlog. Like, there's just so many good games that have come out that everyone's still trying to get through and play.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so 3 big games got delayed, like almost on the same. I think Cyberpunk and actually I think all 3 were delayed on the same day. So it was like, whoa! And then that was also the day that Byleth was revealed. So it was like, what the heck? There's just a ton of gaming news that came out. Holy crap! My mom just sent me a picture of a cake that she made. It looks freaking delicious. Gonna be digging into that later. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. I'm coughing so much. All right. The next bit of gaming news is the Alienware UFO. And this thing, like, it's cool in concept. Like, it's essentially a mobile PC in the shape of a Switch. Like, it's cool. It's interesting. And there is definitely, like, a market for it. It's just the way that Alienware presented it is the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, the design, if you ask me, it's a little rough.
It looks so bad. I like the top comment right now.
I don't really mind the overall kind of design of it, how it's kind of like slanted in its edges. They had to differentiate it from the Switch and stuff. But like the bezel is not parallel. Like it's a trapezoid, but the screen is still a normal rectangle, like 16 by 9. Like the bezel is offset and the controllers are slanted, and the way that it's slanted looks a little off. Like if you just made it straight lines, perpendicular lines, I think it'd look a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
But yeah. Are you talking about including the eShop comment? That's the first one.
No.
Oh.
No, for me it says it looks like a Nintendo Switch Cybertruck edition.
First off, don't disrespect the Switch and the Cybertruck like that, because they are both beautiful. This thing is not.
What?
Cybertruck
You're the first person
beautiful.
ever that thinks no. Okay.
No, I'm not.
I'm just gonna leave.
If I'm the first one, then you heard it here first. Because as soon as I saw that thing revealed, I fell in love. Like I was about to risk it all for the Cybertruck. Like I would live out of that thing if I had to, because I want one so bad.
You have problems.
It looks so cool. Have you seen like the all black edition?
No.
It's freaking.
Doesn't matter.
It's freaking.
I don't want to drive around a rectangle.
It's not a rectangle. It's no part of it is a rectangle.
No, it's worse. It's worse than that.
It's so sick. But besides the point, the Alienware, the way they announced it, it was at some Japanese trade show, but they tweeted out a quote from a review on the UFO, and they said, "The Nintendo Switch is cool, but the price and limited number of games on it isn't, which is why we fell in love with the Alienware concept UFO the moment we saw it this CES." I don't know if there's a price point for it yet, but the top or the first comment or reply on Twitter is at Alpha Omega Sin. He says, including the eShop, isn't there already over 2,000 games on the Nintendo Switch? The Switch Lite is $200. How could that price really even be viewed as a bad thing? Yeah. So this, I assume the UFO does not have detachable controllers. Doesn't look like it does. So if you compare it to the Switch Lite, which doesn't have detachable controllers, yeah, the Switch Lite I would say is a better option. And a lot of really great PC games are on the Switch, like Witcher, Skyrim, Rocket League. Like big name PC games are on the Switch, and like other games that are big names on other consoles are on the Switch. So like this thing I assume is going to be like $500. Like even a normal Switch is $300, and you still get all the games. Like it's cool. People will use it. Like it's a portable PC gaming experience. Like yeah, that's good job. Like there's definitely a place for this, but everyone was just like, Alienware, you're stupid.
You stupid.
You stupid. They kind of kicked themselves in the foot with that. But there's this thing called being ratioed, which I hate that term. But essentially, it's when you get more replies than you do likes because people don't like your thing or whatever you posted. One of the comments is the Nintendo Switch has games from the Game Awards.
Yeah, I was expecting to see that a lot more.
I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, whatever. The UFO is the thing. Well, I guess it's still concept, but you know what I mean. And probably the big news, the biggest thing we're going to talk about today is the Pokemon Direct, which we got the announcement of the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass, which is essentially replacing the classic third versions that would release every generation for Pokemon. And the expansion pass looks like, one, it's a lot of content. And it looks super fun. Like, it looks like interesting. They're adding a lot of cool, like, fan favorite stuff, but they're also like the story and like all the areas look really cool. Essentially we're getting 200 plus returning Pokemon between the two. So there's two, it's the pass because there's two DLC packs. And there's gonna be 200 returning Pokemon between the both of them. And the first one is called the Isle of Armor, and the second is called the Crown Tundra. So the Isle of Armor will release first in June, and the Crown Tundra will release later this year in November. And so the Isle of Armor is obviously an isle, so it's at the bottom of the region, I think. And it's essentially, as the story is, you go to train with Leon's master or mentor at his dojo.
Yeah, mentor.
And you go against, there's going to be other trainers there, there's some battle towers there, and you have a rival depending on which version you have, and it's Clara if you're in Sword and Avery if you're in Shield. And they're both aspiring gym leaders, so they're training to eventually one day have their own gym. And Clara is a poison type trainer, and Avery is a psychic type trainer. And we're getting some new Gigantamax forms. So Venusaur and the Blastoise line are returning because the internet threw a fit when only Charizard was in Galar. But they're both getting Gigantamax forms. Venusaur, I like them both a lot. Venusaur's flower kind of drapes over him, and his like tree trunk on his back kind of like bursts open and through the flower. And then Gigantamax Blastoise is literally just like a giant fortress with like cannons sticking out of his shell everywhere. And then we're also getting Gigantamax forms for all the starters, for the Galarian starters. So we get Gigantamax Rillaboom, which is Rillaboom gets a drum set. All right, sorry about that. My niece needed some help. I don't know what I was talking about, but I think we're talking about the Galarian starters, Gigantamax forms. So we got Rillaboom, Cinderace. His ears get bigger, and his Pyro Ball gets way bigger. And he's just standing on top of it. It's kind of lame. But I think Gigantamax Inteleon is my favorite.
What?
Because out of the Galarian ones, yeah, like the starters, because his tail gets really big and it turns into a sniper tower, and then he just has a sniper rifle. His finger is a sniper rifle. I think it's I like it. But so Leon's mentor is his name is Mustard. Great name, by the way. Looks like a swell old fellow. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This has been my life for the past few weeks, so you get a taste of it. But yeah, he's your mentor, and he's gonna be training you, and he's also gonna give you a Pokemon called Cubfu. This little kung fu bear guy, and he evolves into when you are done being trained by Mustard, he will evolve, and he evolves into Urshifu, and Urshifu has two forms: single strike style and rapid strike style. And it doesn't depend on which game you have. It depends on how you raise it. So single strike. Yes,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until I was reading up on it. But single strike is fighting and dark type, and then rapid strike is fighting and water type, which are two pretty good type combos.
We already have so many fighting dark types, though.
There's two fighting darks. There's Scraggy line, and then Pangoro is dark and fighting. Or I guess he's fighting dark, but you know what I mean. And then rapid strike, I think the only other one that's water fighting is Poliwhirl or Poliwrath, right? I can't think of another.
Yeah, well, Grappalot should have been water fighting.
Yeah, it should have. So should Samurott, but you know. But I like when I saw them, I was like, it's just Ken and Ryu. Like Urshifu is literally in like Ryu's stance, and he has spiky hair, a single strike form, and then rapid strike, his hair is down, and he looks like he's more using kicks, which is Ken's stick. So they're literally just Ken and Ryu. But I think I'm leaning towards rapid strike a little more, because I feel like single strike is gonna be pretty tanky with a good attack stat and not very quick. But rapid strike is gonna have a higher attack stat, better speed, and not that much lower defense. Like, I feel like it's gonna be like a Deoxys situation with like speed and attack form. How they're like basically the same, but attack just has slightly more like attack and defense or something like that. So I'm leaning a little bit more towards rapid strike, and I thought it would be cool. I don't remember if it gets it has a new ability. I don't think we know what the ability is, but it'd be cool if like rapid strike, like they learn different moves. So like single strike would learn things like close combat, and like maybe he'll learn some like one-hit KO moves, or if he gets like a new one-hit KO move, that would be kind of cool. And then rapid strike would learn things like a lot of multi-hit or like priority moves like extreme speed, bullet punch, or even like if you learn like pin missile, like multi-hit moves like that or something like that. And he's water fighting, so maybe he could learn like water shuriken, like that'd be cool. What is water fighting?
If it had the ability skilling, that would be
cool. That's what I was thinking, but I think it gets its own new ability. But Urshifu also gets Gigantamax forms, which change depending on what form it is. And we also got the reveal of Galarian Slowpoke, which is a pure psychic type. And then we get a tease of Galarian Slowbro and also Galarian Slowking, but that comes later. But Galarian Slowbro, it looks like the Shelder. There's no Shelder on its tail. So maybe Galarian Slowbro just evolves normally without like having to be bit by anything. Or I don't know, maybe it bites it on its hand that we can't see or something. But it has like purple. Its tail is tipped purple and its hands are purple. So I was thinking maybe it becomes a psychic poison type. But then, so that's pretty much it for the Isle of Armor. there's going to be other stuff like new apricorns are coming back, new move tutors, new fashion items. There's a new bike, some stuff like that. And then the next DLC pack is called the Crown Tundra. And it is all about, I think it's the north part of Galar, the northern part. And this is essentially like a lot of legendaries are returning for this. Actually, all the legendaries are returning essentially, and you can catch them in like super raids. I think they're called legendary raids. But you'll also, as a part of that, you'll also be able to explore like the Pokemon dens where Gigantamax forms are. So it might be kind of like an MMO raid, more like one where you team up with people and you go and explore this dungeon. And I'm assuming there's gonna be like,
would be so cool.
I assume there'll be like there'll be some items you can find, maybe some regular wild Pokemon, and then 2 or 3 Gigantamax Pokemon or Dynamax Pokemon you have to take on before you get to the legendary, which will also be Dynamaxed. And I wouldn't be surprised if they gave a couple legendaries Gigantamax forms, or if there's new Gigantamax forms for regular Pokemon that will appear in these dens also.
True.
And then we got reveal of one new legendary, which is the stupidest thing I've ever freaking seen. I think
maybe not the stupidest thing, but it doesn't look good.
I think it's supposed to be like a deer or something.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like an elk.
But it walks on 2 legs. Its name is Calyrex. And it's, imagine a deer with 2 legs with a cape, big bead necklace, and a big giant freaking head. Like its head is small, but it has like horns holding up a giant
big brain.
Green big brain. Yeah. Literally big brain, the Pokemon. And it looks like it's a bud. And it's a psychic it's a psychic type. It's a psychic grass type Pokemon. So I assume it's a bud, and it's going to have a form where the bud opens and it has like a flower or something on its head.
Probably.
So I don't know, maybe it'll look better with its other form. But we got a tease of Galarian Slowking, which looks exactly like Galarian Slowbro, just with like the cape that normal Slowking has, but it's black and purple. And then the thing on its head kind of looks like Shelder, but also kind of doesn't. You don't really see it. It's blurred out. It's covered up. So I wonder what typing Galarian Slowking will be. But we get 2 more new legendaries, and they are Regis, or the legendary Titans. And one is an electric type, or by the looks of it, and another one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we know it's electric type?
No, it looks like one. But I mean, what else could it be? And then the other one looks to be a dragon type, or if you're IGN, the Galarian form of Cubone.
Was that real?
Yes.
Bad.
So my ideas for what the Regis would be named, because I mean the other 3 Regis, their names are not very inspired. Reggie Rock, Reggie Steel, Reggie Ice. So I was like, okay, well, what could these ones be? And I was like, Reggie Electricity. Like, that's dumb. So I was like, maybe Reggie Thunder could be kind of cool. But my initial thought was Reggie Shock, or maybe Regivolt. I could see either of those being the electric types. And then for the dragon type, I was like, well, Reggie Dragon. But that sounds lame. So I thought Reggie Drake would be cooler. So I like Reggie Drake. But then we also get Galarian forms of returning legendaries. And they are the legendary birds. I think it'd be cool if we got, oh my gosh, what if we got a Galarian form Lugia, but it was Shadow Lugia?
That would be cool.
That'd be dope. Because it's James Turner's baby, and he's the art director on this game. But Galarian, I think all the Galarian forms for the birds looks sick. I think Moltres. It's a tie between Moltres and Zapdos for my favorite, because Moltres is like, he's all black now, and then he has red flames, and he looks a little
I
different. He
love
has a big plume on his head.
Zapdos.
Zapdos looks freaking sick. He's like super edgy. His wings are kind of gone, and his tail's a lot bigger, and he's more of like a roadrunner now. He has really big, muscular like legs with giant claws. And he looks super like sharp and fast and edgy. He looks sick. And then there's Galarian Articuno, which I feel like is the fan favorite from what I've seen. Not a huge fan of Galarian Articuno.
Really?
Yeah, it gets like a black visor, and it's more of a lavenderish color now. Lavender and white with like black accents.
I think it's hard because normal Articuno is my favorite usually.
My favorite is... Well, Articuno is actually my least favorite. Moltres, Zapdos, and then Articuno. I think I might like Zapdos a little bit more than Moltres, Galarian forms, but I like them both a lot. And then Articuno is still kind of like my third favorite. But obviously it's called the Crown Tundra, so it takes place in like a snowy region. We don't know that much else other than there's going to be new fashion items. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, so we're getting a lot of content. It's $30 for both, for the whole pass. And I'm really excited because it feels like we're getting half of a game. And I mean, we're paying for half a game, so I would hope so. But there's a lot of stuff that they're adding, and like obviously there's more that they haven't told us yet. But it looks really good, and so I'm like pretty excited. What are your thoughts on the Sword and Shield expansion pass so far?
I love everything. Like, the idea of it is genius. I think they can make probably even more money doing it this way, as opposed to releasing another game. And I mean, like, I stopped playing the game for the most part because, I mean, I kind of did everything there was to do. I completed the decks. I got all the shiny Pokemon I wanted. I put 180 hours into the game. So I'm really glad that they have these expansions coming out, so I have more to do.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And like I don't know how they're gonna do it. Like, are the Pokemon gonna be high level, like when you get there? Are they all gonna be like level 60 and above? Or is it gonna be like you start over to a certain point and then you can bring your other Pokemon over? Like, I don't know how they're gonna do it. But I'm not like super in love with the team I beat the game with. So I was like, I think I'm gonna make a new team for the expansions. Just like based on Pokemon I've come to like more after the games come out and stuff like that. So I'll do something before the expansion pass come out. And as excited as I am for this, I gotta say I am a little sad that the third versions are officially dead. Game Freak said they probably aren't going to do them anymore. I call me old fashioned, but I just like getting the third versions. New shiny game has all the stuff from the other games and a bunch of brand new stuff, and I just like the third versions are always my favorite. Like Yellow, Platinum, Emerald. Like back when they did only one third version, but because there's Black 2 and White 2, and then there's Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. But like Platinum's my favorite Pokemon game. Emerald is one of my favorite Pokemon games. I really like how Black 2 and White 2 literally flip the region and you go through the opposite way and it changes the story and stuff like that. So I like the third versions a lot. So I'm kind of sad that they're going away. But I am like excited. Like it feels like we're getting more than what we'd get in the third version just from the expansion pass. So that's really cool. Because, like, even the more ambitious ones, like, I don't even know if they added this much. And, like, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon was, like, a complete letdown in terms of a third version. Like, it didn't change or add much, but what it did, I felt, was, like, Like, it changes the story slightly, but I liked the original Sun and Moon story much more than Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But yeah, I like that the stuff that added in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon wasn't like the best thing ever. And Alola wasn't my favorite region to begin with, so that might have something to do with it. Like, going through it a second time, I was like, ugh. But yeah, so Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass looks great. And then the last bit of news was the reveal of Byleth as the final DLC character in Fighter Pass or Fighter Pack 1 for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And the internet went ballistic.
Yes.
I like Byleth. I don't mind that he's the final character. He or she is the final character. The first 4 were great additions. There's not really a character I super want in the game, so I'm not like up in arms that, Geno didn't get in or Crash didn't get in. I liked Fire Emblem Three Houses. He's not. Yes, he is an anime Fire Emblem swordsman type character. His gameplay is very different, so I'm like not up in arms about it. Like, when he came out, I put in like the group chat. I was like, they really put in a character with more range and tippers like Marth. They gave him a Warlock Punch and Samus's Charge Shot. And I was like, this character is going to be insane. But yeah, the character has a very unique playstyle. But what are your thoughts on Byleth? What was your reaction to their reveal and
disappointment?
Why are you disappointed?
We don't need any more Fire Emblem characters.
And like, everyone got mad at Sakurai. Like, multiple people, it has been said multiple times, he didn't pick these characters. Nintendo did. They picked them and they asked him, are they possible? And he said yes. So this wasn't his decision. He just executed it. And people are getting mad at him. And I'm like, did everyone forget the part where he said, I didn't pick the characters? But yeah, like, I know you would rather had like Crash or something added to the game. But I think he'll be an interesting character. I like him in his game. I know Ben was like ecstatic because he got to see his Dragon Lolly waifu Sothis, and now he has Byleth in the game, because I know he loves Three Houses, and he likes Fire Emblem in general. But yeah, but we also got the announcement that there are not going to be 5 more characters. There's going to be 6 more characters. So that's 6 more chances for... I really think that we're going to get the characters that people wanted. I think we might get 1 more Nintendo rep. It might be a Pokemon, honestly. It might be like... I'd rather it be like Cinderace or something, because it's probably going to be one of the starters. Rillaboom would be like balls as a character. And I just don't like Inteleon's design that much. So I feel like Cinderace would be the best fit if it was going to be Pokemon. But I could see the other 5 being Crash, Master Chief, like Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Everyone wants Sub-Zero. I really want Scorpion. I mean, Sub-Zero would be different because he's an ice kind of character, but why would they put in the second most popular character before the most popular character? Like, they didn't put in Ken before they put in Ryu. Like, Scorpion is the face of Mortal Kombat. That'd be like putting in Eevee instead of Pikachu, or like I said, Ken instead of Ryu. Which would be weird. But I could see or Sora getting in finally. Maybe Geno. Like, the characters that people wanted. But also, it might not, because, Fighter Pass, the fighter ballot, we got freaking Bayonetta. And I had never even heard of Bayonetta before she got announced for Smash. So Nintendo could do whatever the heck they want because they put in Terry Bogard. Like, who was expecting Terry? Like, I like Terry. I thought he was a cool addition, but I would have never thought, yeah, let's put in Terry Bogard from King of Fighters or Fatal Fury. So I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I think we could get some cool characters in Pack 2. And there's 6 spots. So yeah, I'm pretty jazzed for that. You know. Is there, obviously I know you want Crash and Spyro, but is there anyone else that you would like to see make it into Smash?
Master Chief, but that's not gonna happen.
I mean, it could. The big speculation before Byleth was revealed was that it was going to be Dante from Devil May Cry. I think he'd be a cool addition. He'd be kind of
more
Bayonetta.
Anime characters in Smash.
He's not an anime character.
It's Devil May Cry. Yes.
He's not an anime character. He doesn't look like an anime character. He looks like Shulk. His playstyle would be. Well, I guess Shulk is an anime character, but like he's not anime in the sense like he's like an anime swordsman. He is a Japanese character, yes, but he's not like an anime character. But his playstyle, I feel like, would be a combination of like Shulk, Bayonetta, and like Captain Falcon. It could be very rushdown, combo heavy, but he also has like arts and like skills that you have to like manage and stuff. So I feel like that'd be a really cool character. He's probably someone I would try to play. He might be like good Cloud, because Cloud is booty in this game, and for that I will never forgive Sakurai. But yeah, I think if I had to pick one character, I really want to see Steve in Smash. Like, I think that would be awesome. I don't want him. That's not a character I want to pick, but I would like to see him. If I had to pick a character, now that I'm thinking about it, I think Dante would be really cool. But I'd probably say like Scorpion or Sora would be awesome. But that's just me. But I think that's all the news. So it's been a few weeks. So Parker, what have you been doing?
I played through Shadow of War.
You beat it already?
Well, okay, so there's like 2 parts to the game. I beat it, but I didn't finish the game. It'd be like in Pokemon where you beat the champion, but then there's more after that. So I beat the champion. But there's still more I have to do, but apparently it's really grindy. So I stopped playing that, but I'll probably pick it up soonish.
Nice.
Maybe. Let's see. I finally got through in Monster Hunter World, but that's it as far as I got.
Oh, you played some of it?
Yeah. What else? Me and Jeremy have been playing a lot of Dota Underlords because it's the only game he has that he'll play with his crappy internet.
Nice.
That's about it.
Nice. Well, me, I did quite a bit actually. I have seen like more movies in theaters in like the past month and a half than I have like ever in like one period of time, like in a year before. I think I've seen like 6 movies in like the past month and a half. I don't know if I talked about this one on the pod. I think it was during the break, but I saw Knives Out. Which I actually really enjoyed Knives Out. I thought it was very good. I will say The Last Jedi makes way more sense.
After seeing Ryan Johnson movie?
Yeah. And, but yeah, I really enjoyed Knives Out. And then I also saw 1917, which...
Look at that, the guy.
Oh, you got the guy? Esther, my niece walked in my room, but she's playing with my Legos. But we're going to roll with it. But, yeah, 1917 was very good. I really enjoyed it. It's a, like, thrill ride. Like, it's nonstop. Like, once it starts, it does not stop, and it's intense, man. It's war. But it's actually really good, and like I highly recommend it. Oh, are you playing with Emmett?
Yeah.
Is he from the Lego movie?
Yeah.
But yeah, 1917 very good. And then I picked Breath of the Wild back up. I did one more of the Divine Beasts, and I only have one more, and then I can fight Ganon.
Okay.
And earlier today, I played a little bit of Overwatch with my boy Chase. And I am recording this episode on my brand new computer, which I built over the break. And it's freaking sick. I love it. It's so fat. It's so fast. I was adjusting settings for Overwatch earlier. And I opened and closed the game 3 times in the span of a minute. Like, that's how fast it loaded. And I was like, this is what heaven looks like. Like, I can hit power on my computer. Oh, wow, you turned his head around. I can hit power on my computer, and it will be on within 10 seconds. Like, it's so quick. And, like, editing on it is so smooth. Like, on my laptop, unrendered footage with effects on it literally made my laptop crash. I edited the same video on my PC, and it ran the unrendered footage with effects on it at 60 frames. Didn't even skip a beat. It was like, it was insane. And I put a lot of money into it, so I would hope so. But yeah. That's what I've been doing. So, pretty solid couple of weeks for me. But what are you looking forward to?
Pokemon DLC.
Yeah, I mean, we
Really
got
bad.
a few months. We got literally 5.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to Pokemon Home coming out, so you can send me your 3DS.
No, you have
And
to
I
come get it.
can-
I'm not sending it to you.
Well, I'm looking forward for Pokemon Home to come out so I can have a reason to play Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I'm looking forward to, Animal Crossing is in a few months. I feel like there's a movie coming out pretty soon that I want. Oh, Sonic next month. Valentine's Day. It's gonna be great. And then FF7 in April. Yeah. In like the next 4 months, I guess that's what kind of looking forward to. So yeah, I think that's the show. Do you want to say bye, Esther?
Bye, Esther.
No, you're not saying bye to yourself. You guys say bye, listeners.
Bye, listeners.
That's the show. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you find time out of your busy schedule to come back and listen to us next week. But come on. We all know you've got nothing better to do. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes or Spotify, make sure to leave a review and tell a friend. And we will be back next week, and we will see you all then. Peace out.